It's time for Mr. Fundamental!
Presented by no one.
By now, I'm sure you've heard of Immanuel Quickley, a rookie drafted late in the first round in the 2020 draft. His scoring outburst has turned some heads and looked a little like Kyle Kuzma's rookie season in terms of instant contribution. While his season averages don't jump off the page, his minutes have expectedly been erratic under head coach Tom Thibodeau, who tends to have a short leash on rookies. Anyways, let's dive into what he's been doing and how he's quickly making an impact. See what I did there? If you've seen the highlights of Quickley, you probably know what he can do on the defensive end. He has the jumper for guards to succeed in the NBA. Here, just pulling it from deep right away after the screen. The rest of his game stems from this threat to pull up. Simons goes over the screen to prevent a pull-up three. That's why the screen would be set up higher, and now Quickley loses his defender, steps into his jumper, and drains the triple. When defense switches, he already has a knack to pull up in between the switch. This is when he's most open, compared to coming off this screen. This is what put Devontae Graham on the scene last year. His game revolved around that pull-up threat, so screen and rolls are enough to create some openings. It's the same for Quickley. His defender has to respect his jumper and go over screens constantly. This gets Quickley a step on his defender. The rollers man has to split between Robinson and Quickley, and now Young has to tag the roller. A cross-court pass on the dime to Rivers gets them the triple. In terms of scoring within the arc, he wasn't projected to be a good finisher at the rim. So far, Quickley has strayed away from getting all the way to the rim and settling for these type of floaters. Coming off the screen, Thompson is backtracking, so Quickley does a 1-2 and gets the one-legged floater off. Another pick and roll, but he didn't have enough space to pull up this time. He attacks a backtracking Giles, but he's playing up higher than Thompson in the last example. Going all the way isn't his strong suit, and Giles has the quickness and length to meet him at the rim. He uses a few in and out dribbles, and hops into a floater to get it off quickly. Now that's what the highlights have been showing, but like most rookies, he has his own bumps along the way. For one, his jumper is such a big part of his game that if he's having a cold night, his effectiveness on the ball could take a hit. Coming out of the draft, his weaknesses were the lack of ideal passing skills for a guard, and not a primary ball handler. Well, it's not like he improved on all this overnight. The floater seems to be his go-to move, but his touch isn't always the best earlier in the season. It's already gotten a lot better with repetition, and now knocking down 41% of his shots within 3 to 10 feet. Moving on to his shot creation, Quickley isn't great at creating separation on his own. The Knicks set 2 ineffective screens, and Conley is still in front of Quickley. He struggles to shake him off, and the Knicks offense has to reset. Even when he was attacking off the catch, Bridges was able to keep up. Quickley rushes into a step back 3 to keep the slight edge he still has on his defender, and misses the shot. All this isn't to undermine the good Quickley has done, but I actually think it's even more encouraging. He's able to pop off and have big games, even with these holes in his game. Imagine what he would do with more experience under his belt. Quickley has compensated by using his team's offensive sets to his advantage. It seems like they're going into a wing handoff and possibly a screen afterwards. Quickley catches the defense off guard, and that's all it takes to create separation between him and Clarkson. He gets all the way to the rim and draws the foul. Here's basically the same play. This time, the defense miscommunicates and gives up the open lane for the slam. While the flashy aspects of his game still needs improving, I want to focus on the not so flashy parts of basketball, because Quickley has almost everything down to a T. Quickley has been spending a lot of times with other ball handlers on the floor and taking turns to initiate the action. He's spotting it one pass away from the Rivers pick and roll. The defense helps, and hit Quickley for the catch and shoot triple. Looking back at this, do you see the slight adjustment he made before the catch? If you thought about how far he is behind the arc, then you're correct. Quickley has been positioning himself a few steps beyond the arc. On the catch, he's still about a step or two behind it, and this has a few impact. The distance between him and the other spot-up shooter is bigger, making Trent Jr. to cover more ground for the contests. Obviously, stepping into the shot provides more rhythm for Quickley to knock down this triple. Here's a similar possession. Quickley is one pass away and took a few steps beyond the arc. Once he catches the ball, check out how Finson recovers. In order to contest the shot, he would have to take this path. If he wanted to cut off the drive, his path would be more like this. He can't decide, and he's late to cut off the drive, which is why Quickley draws the foul. He does this to gain leverage, especially considering his average ability to create separation. Quickley's momentum is carrying him forward. His defender is recovering, going away from the rim, so it's rare that he can't beat his defender here. He sucks in the defense and lobs it up to Noel. This might not be the best indication of deep threes, but it's the closest I can find. Quickley takes 3 shot attempts within 25 and 29 feet. Quickley is near the top in terms of attempts and percentage among players who averages around 19 minutes. Defenses will close out on the shot, and that keeps Quickley off the dribble creation to a minimum, but also maximize what he can do. From time to time, he gets ahead of himself and shuffles his feet on the drive. That could stem back to trying to keep the defense one step behind, but again, getting more experience is key. Sometimes he'll mix things up and make plays off the ball with some screening. The defense is focused on the screen into handoff, so Quickley screens for Barrett. This makes Hunter pay for helping one pass away, since he didn't realize Barrett is his man now, and Barrett drains the 3. After the post entry, he screens for a low post split. His slip gets him open, and the defense has to over-rotate, but the Knicks just couldn't knock down the open shot. There's a bright side to Quickley's average creation, since he'll turn to more team basketball, and he's really good at that. He waits for the reversal, and catches it after the Noel pin down. They go right into a screen and roll, forcing the extra help on the primary action, and Quickley makes the right pass to Toppin for the triple. When the defense doubles Randall, he hits Quickley on the opposite wing. Check out the no-look swing pass to the corner, stunning the defense, and Knox has all the time in the world to set for the triple. Basically the exact same possession here, a double on Randall and a kick out to Quickley. The defense were on top of things this time, but another driving kick rewards Quickley with a quick trigger out on top. What I'm really excited about Quickley is actually his defense, since his team basketball translates to this end as well. He was an elite defender in college, but doesn't have the size and strength to be a versatile defender. They also said he could be a limited off-ball defender, but we'll keep that at the back of our minds for now. Effort has never been a problem for Quickley thus far, and that 6'10 wingspan has come in handy for contests. When Hunter attacks off the catch and pulls up for the mid-range jumper, check out Quickley's contests. His long arms nearly reach the ball, and this is a 6'8 wing with long arms and high release. In semi-transition, Quickley hustles to pick up Trae Young, so Barrett could cover the corner shooter. Now we all know how good Young is offensively, and he even developed his foul drawing ability. Love it or hate it, or even calling it flopping doesn't matter, because the result is still him getting to the line. For a rookie like Quickley, this is a tall task. He stays with Young pretty well. His right arm is not making any contact, and his left arm is up high, and only when Young exposes the ball, he goes for the strip. Even some vets in the league can't do this. Quickley switches onto Young again. He sticks with him on the drive and avoids picking up a foul, making Young just uncomfortable enough to miss the floater. He's picking up Young in the backcourt and forcing the offense to run through someone else. When the Hawks reset and run a pin down to get Young the ball, he goes over the screen since he has low go range. The Knicks schemes has Randall siding back, and this should be a pretty good look for Young. Quickley's length and quickness makes Young hesitate. He avoids the contact to prevent picking up a cheap foul, and did his part on his possession. Picking up players full court has its perks, and it's common to see Quickley doing it. After the basket, he catches none off guard, beats him with a spot, and forced to travel. I've talked about the Knicks defensive scheme in the previous video, and they've really emphasized the philosophy of helping the helper. After watching some games for that video, one thing I've noticed is the consistency that Quickley carries out this scheme. On the step-up screen, the Knicks are containing, but Quickley has already rotated over in case of a pocket pass to Biyombo. This allows Noel to help more on the Hayward drive. Even after the flyby by Payton, Quickley is bodying up Biyombo, which is why Noel could show and cover for Payton. This leads to a kickout and a full-fledged contest by Knox. Look who's there to cover for Knox on the drive, then the effort to contest on the kickout corner 3. Keep an eye on Quickley in the corner. He points to Toppin to get ready on the help. Toppin doesn't do this, so Quickley takes it upon himself. The reason for this is that there's no one to tag the roller on the weak side, so someone has to get there early from the opposite corner. His presence slows down Drummond, allows Noel to recover, and forces a tough shot initially. Here's a pick and roll in the corner. Bogdanovic drives on the catch, and typically, Robinson would step up the challenge. Since the weak side is clear, a Robinson rotation will lead to a lob. Quickley instinctively steps up, since his man isn't too big of a threat right now. Barrett does get called for the reach, but there's Knicks level awareness by Quickley. Scrambling defense is a good way to check out a player's awareness and effort. After the offensive board and a tip back to Garland, all three of Noel, Rivers, and Quickley could see a potential shot attempt. Quickley is the only one hustling and getting a hand up on the shot. After the offensive board, the Knicks pick up their closest man. When they swing it to Mitchell, Quickley recognizes Burks is in position and starts making his way to the Knicks open man already, before Mitchell even looked at O'Neal. That early recognition is what allows Quickley to prevent a 3, then plays great defense on the drive. Extending your arms might seem like a small thing, but all these little things add up. This quick screen got Trent Jr. attacking, and Knox seems reluctant to help off a mellow pop, evident by this lane he's giving up. Quickley spreads out his 6'10 wingspan to close off this lane, and there isn't an opening here. This won't show up on his box score, but you should have some credit on this missed triple. I've got more clips on Quickley, but I think I've shown enough to demonstrate his fundamentally sound defense. There's a lot of fan talk going around to start Quickley or give him more minutes, and also why some thought the trade for D-Rose wasn't ideal. I fully support that statement, but I'll share some light on the Knicks' potential rationale. Thibodeau never really plays his rookies much based on his track record, so there's that. Payton doesn't have the firepower of Quickley, but he is good defensively, especially in isolations this season. Plus, having Barrett and Randall as their primary options, Quickley won't exactly have as many touches in the starting lineup. Even with Rose in the fold for like 6 games now, Quickley's usage is still at 26%, higher than stars like Butler, Sabonis, and Towns. As for comparisons, Quickley reminds me a lot of 2 former Bulls players under Thibodeau. He has a fundamental defense and complementary game of Kirk Hinrich, but also that microwave pull-up scoring of Nate Robinson right now. This bodes well for his future, since both these players carved out a role in Thibodeau's rotation. I know Luwu has come out as the best case scenario, but I kinda like comparing him to George Hill. He came out of the draft as a scoring combo guard, but developed into a steady 3-and-D floor general. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of Quickley and his early emergence. Remember to drop a like rating down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.